Okay, let's get started. So, this is the first one I'm officially doing. Welcome everybody to the channel, Genesis and Longevity. My name is Jeffrey Maher, and I'm reading through a bunch of different books of importance throughout human history. The first being the Kesh Temple Hymn. And that is because this is the oldest written religious story, or whatever. It's in praise to the gods of Sumeria. So this is from Sumeria, modern day Iraq. Let's get into it. Like and subscribe. The princely one. The princely one came forth from the house. Enlil, the princely one, came forth from the house. The princely one came forth royally from the house. Enlil lifted up his glance over the lands. And the lands raised themselves to Enlil. The four corners of heaven became green for Enlil like a garden. Kesh was positioned there for him with head uplifted. And as Kesh lifted its head among all the lands, Enlil spoke the praises of Kesh. Nisaba was its decision maker. With its words, she wove it intricately like a net. Written on tablets, it was held in her hands. House, platform of land, important fierce bowl. House Kesh, platform of land, important fierce bowl. Growing as high as the hills, embracing the heavens, growing as high as Iqur, lifting its head among the mountains, rooted in the Abzu, verdant like the mountains. Will anyone else bring forth something as great as Kesh? Will any other mother give birth to someone as great as its hero, Agi? Who has ever seen anyone as great as its lady, Nintud? The first house, built in a good location, floating in the heavens like a princely barge, like a holy barge furnished with a gate, like the boat of heaven, the platform of all the lands. From the riverbank, like a boat cabin. House roaring like an ox, bellowing loudly like a breed bull. House in whose interior is the power of the land, and behind which is the life of Sumer. House, great enclosure, reaching to the heavens. Great house, true house, reaching to the heavens. House, great crown reaching to the heavens. House, rainbow reaching to the heavens. House, whose platform extends into the midst of the heavens. Whose foundations are fixed in the Abzu, whose shade covers all lands. House founded by On, praised by Enlil, given an oracle by Mother Nintud. House Kesh, green with its fruit. Will anyone else bring forth something as great as Kesh? Will any other mother ever give birth to someone as great as its hero Agi? Who has ever seen anyone as great as its lady Nintud? The second house. House, 10 car at its upper end, 5 car at its lower end. House 10 burr at its upper end, 5 burr at its lower end. House at its upper end, a bison. At its lower end, a stag. House at its upper end, a wild sheep. At its lower end, a deer. House at its upper end, a dappled wild sheep. At its lower end, a beautiful deer. House at its upper end, green like a viper. At its lower end, floating on the water like a pelican. House at its upper end, rising like the sun. At its lower end, spreading like the moonlight. House at its upper end, a warrior mace. At its lower end, a battle axe. House at its upper end, a mountain. At its lower end, a spring. House at its upper end, threefold indeed. Will anyone bring forth something as great as Kesh? Will any other mother give birth to someone as great as its hero Agi? Who has ever seen anyone as great as its lady Nintud? The third house. Excuse me. House, inspiring great awe, called with a mighty name before On. House, whose fate is grandly determined by the great mountain Enlil. House of Anuna, gods possessing great power, which gives wisdom to the people. House, reposeful dwelling of the great gods. House which was planned together with the plans of heaven and earth, with pure divine powers. House which underpins the land and supports the shrines. House, mountain of abundance, which passes the days in glory. House of Ninhur-Saja, which establishes the life of the land. House, great hillside worthy of the purification rites, altering all things. House without whom no decisions are made. House, good, carrying in its hands the broad land. House which gives birth to countless peoples, seeds which has sprouts. House which gives birth to kings, which determines the destinies of the land. House whose royal personages are to be revered. Will anyone else bring forth something as great as Kesh? Will any other mother ever give birth to someone as great as its hero Agi? Who has ever seen anyone as great as its Lady Nintud? The house. It is indeed a city. It is indeed a city. Who knows its interior? The house of Kesh is indeed a city. Who knows its interior? The house. The heroes make their way straight into its interior and perform its oracle rites perfectly. Frisking cattle are gathered at the house in herds. The house consumes many cattle. The house consumes many sheep. Those who sit on daisies bow their necks before it. It wears a crown to vie with the boxwood tree. It spreads out to vie with the poplar. It is as green as the hills. Will anyone else bring forth something as great as Kesh? Will any other mother give birth to someone as great as its hero Agi? Who has ever seen anyone as great as its Lady Nintud? The fourth house. House given birth by a lion, whose interior the hero has embellished. House, Kesh, given birth by a lion, whose interior the hero has embellished. The heroes make their way straight into its interior. Ninhur-Saja sits within like a great dragon. Nintud, the great mother, assists at births here. Kolpad, the ruler, acts as lord. Agi, the hero, consumes the contents of the vessels. Uramak, the great herald of the plains, dwells there too. Stags are gathered at the house in herds. Will anyone else bring forth something as great as Kesh? Will any other mother give birth to someone as great as its hero Agi? Who has ever seen anyone as great as its Lady Nintud? The fifth house. House positioned over its foundations like a storm, like white bulls standing about on the plain. House founded by the prince in praise of the Tigi instrument. House in whose interior is the power of land, and behind which is the life of Sumer, at whose gate is a lion reclining on its paws, at whose gate is the ruler who decides cases. House whose great door is the mountain without adversary, at whose bolt is a frisking wild bull, a man, at whose awe-inspiring lion, whose well-founded storehouse is a corner of heaven, a corner of earth, whose terrace is supported by Lama deities, whose princely wall, the shrine of Urim. Will anyone else bring forth something as great as Kesh? Will any other mother give birth to someone as great as its hero Agi? Who has ever seen anyone as great as its Lady Nintud? The sixth house. House imbued with radiance, excellence. House, Lord Nidmud, in heaven and earth, brickwork of the land, brickwork, grandly in the Abzu, terrace, relaxing abode, holy splendor of the people. House which is seemly for the foreign lands. Will anyone else bring forth something as great as Kesh? Will any other mother give birth to someone as great as its hero Agi? Who has ever seen anyone as great as its Lady Nintud? The holy house, whose is the shrine. The holy house, Kesh. Whose is the shrine? The house whose lords are the Anuna gods, whose Nuak priests are the sacrificers of Iana. In the house, the king places the stone bowls in position. The good end priest holds the lead rope dangling. The Atu priest holds the staff. Someone brings the waters. He takes his seat in the holy place. The Ankum priests bow down. The Pakak priests beat the drumsticks. They recite powerfully, powerfully. The bull's horn is made to growl. The drumsticks are made to thud. The singer cries out to the Allah drum. The grand sweet tigi is played for him. The house is built. Its nobility is good. The house Kesh is built. Its nobility is good. Its lady has taken a seat in its. Ninhursaja, its lady, has taken her seat in it. Will anyone else bring forth something as great as Kesh? Will any other mother ever give birth to someone as great as its hero Agi? Who has ever seen anyone as great as its lady Nintud? Draw near, man, to the city, but do not draw near. Draw near, man, to the house of Kesh, to the city, but do not draw near. Draw near, man, to its hero Agi, but do not draw near. Draw near, man, to its lady Nintud, but do not draw near. Praise be to well-built Kesh, O Agi. Praise be to cherished Kesh and Nintud, the eighth house. That was the Kesh Temple hymn, word for word, direct translation, as far as I could collect. So, thank you so much for watching. Watch our next video, the instructions of Shirupak. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe. Peace and love.